All right, let's see if I have done this correctly. I'm going to try to do my best to do my live stream to YouTube and Instagram. So, those of you watching the replay, just go ahead and fast forward about 60 seconds while I get all the technology set up. All right, perfect. So, we are on here. All right, let me go ahead and make this adjustment here. Okay, perfect. Try and decide if it's easier to have my screen this way or this way. Okay, y'all. Thank you. I'm still figuring out my system here. All right. So today's live stream, we are going to be talking about 5 things that kill attraction. My name is Yancy. I am a dating coach. If you have not seen any of my live streams before, comment newbie so I can give you some extra love. My goal is to teach women how to better attract men and inspire them to commit. And I've done this by really doing my research and getting to know men and understanding their needs. And I've been interviewing men for the past 10 years. And so I do my best to relay the information that they have told me with my audience members. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, she said this topic is so on time. Thank you, Latoya. I'm glad to hear that. And those of you on Instagram, if it's your first live stream, like I said, let me know it's your first time. YouTube, you can do the same thing as well. Bear with me because I'm trying to look at 3 separate screens at once. Oh, duh. I forgot I have an extra screen over here. I'm sorry, y'all. There we go. Now I can not have everything all scrunched up. Okay, perfect. Here we go. I can move this guy out of here. So the very first thing that you have to know when it comes to attraction, and I got my banners. See, this is why I use this, because I got my little banners, but it just takes me a second to kind of get situated my screen, is rushing, okay? Rushing versus letting things unfold naturally. Men want the process to unfold naturally. This is a reason why a lot of guys don't like to go to singles events and things like that, because it just doesn't feel organic. It just doesn't feel natural. And they never, ever, ever want things to feel forced. They want things to feel like they are flowing. And as a masculine man, they always want to be taking the lead. So if they're being forced to do something, if they're being rushed into something, all kinds of alarms are going to go off in their mind. Okay, so rushing is the worst thing that you can do. Rushing comes from a place of fear because you have a vested interest in not rushing the process because you need the time to vet him. Okay, it's only when you are coming from a place of fear, coming from a place of a scarcity mindset, are you going to want to rush the process. What's for you is for you, and you will not have to force it. So instead of trying to secure the relationship and being relationship forward, focus on the guy. And for men watching this, it's probably like, well, duh, we focus on the woman when we're getting to know her. But this is what you don't understand. As a woman, there is such pressure to be in a relationship. And for women, relationships mean security, stability, comfort. There's even social status that comes with it. So there is so much motivating a woman to be in a relationship. So one of the epiphanies that I had years ago is that women have this internal like switch. We either are ready to be in a relationship or not ready to be in a relationship. And it's almost always defaulted to ready, right? But there are times we're not. So we're just ready for a relationship. And unfortunately, what happens is when we have a ready for a relationship mentality, we can come across as any guy will do. Well, he'll work or he'll work. And what's sad is that for men, it doesn't feel like there's anything special about him. Let's say his name is Steve. Steve wants to feel like the reason you want to be in a relationship is because you met Steve, not because a switch was on in your brain that said, I want to be in a relationship. Just imagine as women, if a guy was like, I want a wife, I want to be married by the end of the year. Okay, you'll do, right? We have this fantasy in our head. He's going to meet us. And because it's us, he can't live without us. And he's never known a love like this before and blah, 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 right? That is normal. You want to feel like there is something specific about you that drove that person in, and men are no different. Okay. Men, let me know in the comments if I'm lying. Okay. So don't rush the process. Men who are for you will show up consistently. They will show up with their effort. You are not going to have to force them to do anything. You're not going to have to leave a bunch of Blue's Clues for them. They are going to, for the most part, instinctively know what to do. Just like I mentioned a bit ago, that for women, relationships mean security and provision. And oh my God, now the mental load is not all on me. And if you have kids, oh, I have someone who can help me with munchkins. There are all these benefits to us as women. For men, relationships don't mean security. It means the opposite. They are the security. So for men, relationships mean responsibility. So understand that he is not going to want to rush the process. If you have heard me talk about this, you've heard me say this plenty of times. Imagine being a single woman, single, okay, no guy in the picture, and deciding whether or not to adopt a child. Think about how you would approach that decision versus how you would approach the decision to get into a relationship with a man. One, you are taking on all this responsibility, and of course there are perks. The other, you are enjoying the perks, and someone else is taking on the responsibility. So when we have that mindset, not only does it help us to have empathy for the men, it also should help us to not have such a big ego in thinking that every single guy who meets us is just going to be head over heels in love with us and want to just sweep us off our feet. He has to calculate all the risks and weigh out everything and make sure that he is in a position to do so. Okay. So number one, in the relationship or in the process of getting to know you, if a man ever feels pressure, he's going to back away, right? It's going to at least turn him off. We're talking about 5 things that kill attraction. Comment pressure if you can admit that you have in the past maybe put a little pressure on a guy. Maybe you're dropping hints. Maybe you're asking the questions like, what are we? And fishing for information. If you dare comment pressure, and then your sisters can see that they are not alone. Okay. It's a very, very, very common thing for women to do, but just understand, as much as you feel the urge to do so, understand this very thing that you're doing is also turning him off. Okay. Yes, I've actually used that plenty of times. So Ebony says, good way to look at it. He takes responsibility for you like a dad, hence the dad giving the bride away. Exactly. I have said so many times, that's not just a cute little part of the ceremony. He's literally saying, I was responsible for her up until this point, and I'm trusting you. I'm going to hand her off. Also, why that he would ask the dad for permission, because he's saying, hey, I know you're taking care of her, but I would like that responsibility. Can I have that? And then ceremoniously he hands her over. Okay. Like a beautiful baton in a relay. Okay. Number 2, 5 things that kill attraction: over investing versus matching his energy. Just had a client today talking about this lavish gift that she got this guy and all the things that she was spending on him. And, while it's nice to be generous and kind, you want to really be careful on the front end to not go harder than the man. All right. You got to let him take the lead. We say we want to be feminine. We say we want a man who takes the lead. We want a masculine man. Well, we got to let him take the lead. So you want to make sure you don't act like his girlfriend before he's even asked for commitment. Now, so many women ask me like, well, how do I know where I stand? If he hasn't asked you to be his girlfriend, you are someone he's just getting to know. If he has not said the words, I want you to be my girlfriend, you are someone he is getting to know. This does not mean he's playing games. This does not mean that eventually he might want to. You just need to deal with today. Today, you are not his girlfriend. Today, you are someone he's getting to know. So don't act like his girlfriend. What do I mean by acting like his girlfriend? If you were to do something that you would have resentment or regret, more so regret, of doing, if you found out he didn't pick you to be in a relationship with, would you regret doing it? Okay. One of the biggest things that women would regret doing is being intimate, right? Going past a certain point. Maybe she wouldn't have, introduced him to certain family members and friends. Maybe she would not have spent so much money or invested in his business or whatever it is. Only you can know what you would regret doing if you didn't end up being in a relationship. Okay. So you can still continue to get to know him. This isn't about being cryptic and weird and hiding things. It's about pacing yourself. Just like a guy isn't going to give you a key to his house or put your name on the deed, probably until you have gotten married, or, there are levels to it. So same thing with you. There should be levels to it. You want to absolutely reciprocate his effort, but do not give more than he is offering. Okay. So always think about, like, he initiates and then you can reciprocate. He's going to do most of the heavy lifting, and you do a little bit back to say, I'm here. I'm not just dead weight. But you definitely don't want to be the one who is calling the most, texting the most. Certainly don't want to be asking him out. And that might sound old school, because it is, and it worked. If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Men are wired the same way. Men have not changed their wiring just because it's 2025. We as women haven't changed our wiring. We still want to feel like we're loved and cherished. And part of that starts with him taking the lead and initiating. Okay. All right. Are you guys following along? Drop me a little comment. Let me know you're following. Comment following if you're following. And if we have anyone who is watching a live stream of mine for the first time, comment newbie. And let me know where you're watching from. If you are not watching for the first time, you are an OG. Congratulations. And you can also let me know where you're watching from. So you could say OG, Long Beach, OG, Dallas, newbie, Sarasota, whatever. Okay. All right. We are going to move on to number 3. This video is going to be nice and short and sweet. Number 3, this one, oh my gosh. And this goes along with number 1, being too uptight and being too serious versus embracing a playful, lighthearted attitude. This is something that people are, women are so focused on because they don't want to waste their time. They don't want to waste their time. They don't want to waste their time. But then they're coming across in a way that's not inviting. And so if you do this, he's not going to want to be with you. And then you're going to be even more stressed out. So this is why you have to constantly remember the bigger picture. Shout out to Ebony. She's watching from Cleveland, Ohio, and she is an OG. Nice. We got Kirikou. Hope I'm saying that right. She's an OG watching in Philly. Thank you so much. See, I can give you a little bit of love if you let me know. Oh, we got a newbie. You're not a newbie. Well, maybe it's your first time looking at a live stream, I was going to say, because I've seen your name before. But shout out to you, Prentice, newbie watching from Cali, West Side. All right. But number 3, you don't want to be too uptight. You are going to want to inspire commitment, and men do not commit to women they are not emotionally attached to. And you cannot get emotionally attached to someone who is always uptight and always serious. And he's going to think this is how you're going to be in a relationship, which you might be if that's how you are showing up. You want to be able to relax and be playful and enjoy your time with him. Okay. You don't want to come out the gate with these high pressure conversations. Where is this going? I'm looking for a husband. I'm not here for the games. So if you're just on some F-boy time, I'm not like, whoa. Let's see if we even enjoy each other's company first and foremost. Okay. So have fun, flirt, joke, be present. Okay. And don't be so worried about the outcome that you can't enjoy the present. All right. You guys keeping up with me? Number 4 out of 5 things that kill attraction in dating with an agenda versus an open heart. Okay. This is someone who goes into dates with a mindset, a checklist mindset. You're going to come across as an interviewer. I got to get all these things through. By the 3rd date, this should be happening. Okay, by this time, we should be here. And you're not listening to your heart. You're not open. You're not connecting. He is going to feel that. He is going to feel like you are just, man across from me at the date. Not, I'm a human with a soul and I'm connecting to her with a soul. Okay. Try not to spend so much time evaluating. And it's hard if you're someone like me whose brain is always going analytical. A lot of times when you do this, you can miss things. Like I said, you're not going to come across as present, but sometimes you can overthink things. You can, not overthink. You could analyze something and make it bigger than it really is. Okay. So don't try to rush his timeline, which kind of ties back into number 1. All right. This might be my fastest live stream ever, y'all. Okay. I'm trying to be efficient here. Number 5 things that kill attraction, trusting his words alone versus seeing if his actions and words line up. So at the beginning, you want to give the benefit of the doubt. Don't go to the other extreme where he says anything he says, you're rolling your eyes and be like, yeah, right. That's coming from a place of hurt and pain. You want to go in there believing the best, right? You want to say, like, plan for the worst, but prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. You want to go in hoping that his words are true. You're going to give him an opportunity to have a fresh slate. Okay, let's see what you're all about. But if his actions don't align, pay attention to that. Okay, so this isn't necessarily one that's going to kill attraction, if we're going to be technical on here, but this is one that will mess you up big time. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention. But I would say what kills the attraction is coming in with this kind of attitude. Like you're a police officer, you're an inspector, and you're like, I want to make sure you're like a parole officer. I'll make sure you're not messing up and that you're not pulling the wool over my eyes. Nobody wants to feel like they're dating a bitter Betty. Okay. If you're dating a guy and he's like, yeah, the last girl did this, and I don't know, because most women are just trying to get a free meal and da da da, you would be so turned off. Like, oh, buddy, you might need to see somebody before you hit these dating streets again. You don't want to come across in that way. And so a lot of the stuff that's in your mind, it could stay in your mind. Don't open your mouth and talk to him about it. You are taking inventory. You're seeing how things are going. It is not your job to be telling him how he should be, because again, he is not your man. And this is not about molding him into this perfect guy. It's about seeing if you like him, seeing if he has the same interests as you, see if he has the same goals as you. Okay. A man who is there for the right reasons will show up consistently. He will put in effort. He will want to make sure that you are happy as much as possible. He's not going to have, hot and cold behavior. He's not going to be all over the place. You're not going to be searching for Blue's Clues. Okay. So don't make excuses for a man who is inconsistent. At the very, very least, he's going to be consistent. And just think about this when you want to give a guy an excuse. When you really like a show, or you're really into like an IG page or YouTube page, or you're really enjoying looking at reels, let's say, for example, nobody has to tell you to open it up and get on social media. Nobody has to go tell you, oh, it's Tuesday night and the new episode dropped. When you like something, you naturally show up. So let's not overcomplicate this and be like, oh, but he's so busy, and oh, but he was that. He might have a little bit of interest in you. He might think that you're cute. But if he actually likes you and he's interested on that level, he is not going to want a ton of time to go by before he's checking in with you, seeing how your day is and all that stuff. Okay. So let his actions reveal his intentions. And of course, over time, going back to number one, and then move accordingly. Let me know if this was helpful for you. I told you in 2025, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be more generous with my free content. And I would like to invite you, if you have not done so already, to learn a little bit about my program. It is called the Dating Manual, and it's 8 weeks with me. Can you imagine what we can do in 8 weeks? All right. I have had girls who have gone through that program who are now engaged. I have plenty who are in relationships. I had one that just graduated 2 weeks ago, and she's already on date number 6 with a guy. And she said there is a major difference in how she is showing up. There are so many blind spots we have as women, and we just don't know. So how can we correct something if we just don't know it? It's not like the guys we date are going to go, excuse me, ma'am, this is the reason why I didn't want to be with you. If you just work on this, the next guy might want you, right? So we can't control the men. We can't control what they do, but we can control how we show up. It never fails. I have guys in my men's group who, they get to see the pictures of the ladies who are single and they can pursue. And there are some men who pursue and the women immediately respond. There are other men, they try to pursue and they say, Yancy, these ladies don't respond. Do you think that their DMs are broken? Or do you think there's something that they're doing, because these are strangers, something that they're doing is turning the woman off, okay? So you either have a lack of physical attraction, or there is something that is said or done that is a turnoff. And so there are always things that we can do on our side of the fence to improve our attractiveness, to improve, our energy and somebody that someone else would want to be around. Okay, interesting question. And I don't know if I'm 100% on what you're asking. He says, how does a woman identify a man who has done the inner work from those falsely representing it? All I can say is that most people can only fake things for about 30 days. That's what the experts have said. After that, if you're really paying attention, there will be cracks. they'll slip up if you're really paying attention. Now, if she's just so excited to be in a relationship, she might overlook things because she's just too excited and she'll make excuses for things. But honestly, you can tell if a man has done the inner work because it'll show up. If he hasn't done the inner work, he is going to have, an inability to express himself calmly. Maybe he's going to shut down during conversations that get anywhere difficult. He is going to be defensive. I mean, there's so many things that are going to be obvious if he has not done the work. So if she just takes time, time is really honestly the answer. It will make it easy to see. Anybody else have any questions before we get going? This is going to be immediately available on YouTube because I am using the streaming software. So you guys will be able to watch that if you want to go back and watch. And all I ask is that you share it with a friend. Share it with a friend, somebody who doesn't know about my channel. I get messages all the time. Oh my God, I wish I had known this 20 years ago. Oh, I wish I had known this 10 years ago, what have you. Man, I could use this 2 weeks ago. So share it with a friend who maybe needs this. And those of you watching on YouTube, you can follow my page on Instagram. I drop stuff daily there. And then on YouTube, I try to do at least once or twice a week. All right, guys. So I meant to say my 8-week coaching program, we launched the March group next week, next Wednesday. So if you've wanted to know about this program, just go to my Instagram page or in the description here on YouTube. But go on my Instagram page. If not, click the link that says Dating Manual. And then from there, you could see how to schedule a discovery call. The discovery call just sets you up a call with me. We talk for about 30 minutes. I show you a presentation, go over exactly who the program is for, what we cover, and how much it costs so that you can make sure you know whether or not it's a good fit. We have 5 spots left. I only take 10 women for each class. So if you have been wanting a spot, make sure you set up a discovery call. I think I have 4 calls scheduled between now and the class starting. So technically they could be taken, but it's first come, first serve. So do yourself a favor, even if you're just curious and maybe you're going to sign up for the next one in the summer, do yourself a favor and check it out. Find out if it can help you. What this will do is rapidly speed up your growth process. Of course, you can learn this stuff on your own over time. What happens is you keep trying and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing. You have all these heartaches and decades go by and you finally go, oh, I'm starting to get it now. But as women, we have our youth and our youth is so important. So take this course while you are young. Don't drag things out another 5, 10, 15 years, a couple heartaches, maybe some more kids. Learn what you don't know because what you don't know can and will hurt you in the dating process. You have to understand men if you want to relate to men and inspire a man to commit to you for the rest of your life. So learn what you don't know. Click on the dating manual, set up a discovery call, and I will see you soon. Have a good one, guys.